Brad Keselowski fought off Martin Truex Jr. and the flu to win at Atlanta. Wow. As I said yesterday in the video, the preview video, Brad Keselowski was not feeling well, and he had to have Austin Cindric step in for practice. He made a couple runs, but he did not run the full practice time, so he had some stomach virus or flu symptoms or something. The majority of what I heard was flu, so that's why I put it on the thumbnail in what I'm saying right now. But yeah, Brad Keselowski was sick, but didn't matter. He still won. He held off Martin Truex Jr. He had like a 2-second lead with 8 to go. Truex just charged him down, got really almost right to his bumper. He's just less than 0.2 of a second behind. But Keselowski had a really good run those last 3 laps, and he was able to kind of hold off Truex and win the race. So, with that being said, what was the race? There was not really any big crashes, big incidents, but there was one on pit road, the second straight week of there being a pit road incident. Last week at Daytona, the crash entering pit road. This week it was actually on pit road. Ryan Preece ran over B.J. McLeod. He was checking down to make sure he was going pit road speed, so he was looking down like this, and he looks up, and B.J. McLeod's there, smashes into his car, and ended Ryan Preece's day. So rookie Ryan Preece wrecks on pit road, and he was actually having a really good run. He was running in the top 10 for quite a bit, so he was having a really good day, and then it just ends on a kind of a crappy note there at the end. The package, the new package, obviously, that's the big storyline. It's not the full package, but it is a version of the package, and it was actually really fun to watch. You had a lot of different guys leading. Larson really dominated the day. I think he led like 142 laps. He definitely led the most laps, but it was over 100. It was over like 140, I think. But you saw multiple guys leading laps. Truex, Keselowski, Harvick, Almirola, Kyle Busch, I think, led a little bit. Going through the list of the finishing results here, sorry. As I said earlier, the pole sitter, Almirola, Larson, he was really the dominant car. There were a lot of leaders today, so that's a big deal. Sorry, this ESPN usually has the laps led, but it is not updated yet to show the laps led. Harvick led, Kyle Busch, I think maybe, that's not a fact, but maybe. So, there you have it. But during like the restarts, whenever you would watch the restarts, it really did look like a Daytona, Talladega kind of thing. A lot of tight racing, 3-4 wide, bunch of cars that looked like a pack. But it was definitely, you could tell the difference if you watched the restart last year versus this year. You could definitely see a difference. There was no car that could shoot out and jump ahead. It was always pretty close until the exit of turn 2. But even after the restarts, a few laps after, they'd still be close, still 3-4 wide. It was pretty fun racing to watch. There was never any really close to incidents. There was one where Kyle Larson, I think, got in the back of Bubba Wallace, and Wallace got super loose, but he was able to save it. But it was honestly a really good race. There weren't big incidents or anything. It wasn't straight line, spread out racing. There was more spread out, obviously. Cars got lapped. Leaders spread out their leads. So there's still that, but it wasn't like a long, boring, single lane, everything. So very interesting. One of the cool things I remember from the race specifically was Harvick and Larson had a battle during stage 2, I believe, for the lead. And it was really fun to watch. Larson would go to the high line. Kevin Harvick, would go to the inside, give him a nice little challenge. They would exchange the lead back and forth between laps. Larson even went to the bottom one time, tried to run the yellow line. He got so on the line that the car stepped out from him, and he ended up having to turn the car right just to save it. But Harvick ended up winning stage 2. Larson did win stage 1. But it was really good racing, honestly. Just 3 and 4 wide racing, battling for the lead, different leaders, and it's not much to complain about. The corner speed is really good now. It's like much faster, but obviously the straightaway speed is a little slower, but it's still really fun to watch. The end was really fun as well to watch. If you did not see it, you should go back and watch it for sure. Truex hunting down Keselowski, trying to find a way to get past him. He really couldn't, but at the end of the day, Keselowski won. Man, just going to go through the finishing results, talk about each driver and their day, and that'll probably bring up some stuff that I'll remember. I'm trying to remember stuff that happened during the race. I don't have any notes with me. Yeah. So Keselowski obviously won. He was sick, and he still won. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. He also is now the winningest driver in Penske for NASCAR, I believe. I don't know if it's all time, but I know for NASCAR. So good for you. Congratulations, Brad Keselowski. Martin Truex Jr. comes up second, almost got his first career win with Joe Gibbs Racing, but couldn't get around the 2 car. He had a very good car all day, running in top 10, top 5, leading some laps. Good for him. Kurt Busch, he's trying to make me nervous. He's trying to ruin my season predictions and not putting him in the playoffs. He's trying to prove me wrong. Great run by Kurt Busch. He got lucky actually on a mid-race caution. I think it was the Ryan Preece incident actually that got a caution, and Kurt Busch and Joey Logano were out because this was during green flag stops, and they were able to stay in the top 2. They were the only 2 that were on the lead lap that ended up staying on the lead lap, and the whole field had to do the wave around, and you know what that resulted in? An extra pace lap because there were 35 cars that were on the wave around. Kevin Harvick 4th. He led a few laps, won a stage. Good day for him. Just came up short of the win. He finished 4th. Clint Boyer, the guy I picked to win the race, he ran top 10 most of the race. He got up to the top 5 at the end there. I don't know if he led any laps, but good, solid day for him. 6th was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, he had an up-and-down day. He was up there contending. Then he hit the wall. He had a tire go down. It caused a caution. He had to go in and pit, get the damage repaired. Tire had to get replaced. That's another thing I was going to talk about. That's what it was. Tire wear. There was a lot of tire wear for some reason during this race. It was weird. There was guys with tires going down at the end there. During the race, there were guys with really bad tires. Like Blaney had a shredded tire. I think it was Hemrick as well. Their tires, they took them off and they were shredded. It wasn't to the point where it shredded the car up or anything, but they took the tires off and you saw it looked like it had hair on it. It was just woo. But definitely tire wear was a big part of the day, and will definitely be a glimpse into the future, if whatever the specifics are of what happens. 7th, Eric Jones, good day for him. 8th, Almirola led a lot of laps, as I said. Did not win. He came up with a pole, but did not win. A very, very, very impressive run by Chris Buescher. He ran in the top 10 for a while, and he finished in the top 10. A 9th place finish at Atlanta for Chris Buescher. That is a very promising sign for JTG Racing to have 2 cars running in the top 10. One of them with bad luck on pit road, and the other one actually does finish in the top 10. Very impressive run for both of those teams and the organization in a whole. So they should be very excited about this year and excited about their future with the young drivers in Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece. 10th was Daniel Suarez. He started in the top 5. He faded back early, was able to rally back and get a top 10. Daytona 500 winner Denny Hamlin got 11th. Kyle Larson finished 12th after dominating the day, leading over 140 laps, winning a stage. He had a speeding penalty. Him and Almirola and someone else, Blaney, I think, had a pit road penalty. So pit road penalties, speeding, just because the cars have slowed down a little bit, does not mean their speeds on pit road slow down. They are still speeding on pit road. 13th, Ryan Newman. As I said, another team that's going in the right direction. That would be Roush Fenway Racing. Both their cars qualified pretty well and both finished decent. Stenhouse did not finish as good as he qualified. He qualified 2nd, finished 18th. We'll talk about him in a minute. Menard finishes 14th. Bowman 15th. 16th, David Reagan. Good for him. 17th, William Byron. 18th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Started 2nd. I think he led 1 lap. Other than that, he dropped back. It was a rough day for him. Another guy with a rough day, Chase Elliott. He just ran 13th to 18th the whole day and finished 19th. Very rough run for him. He got lucky to even finish in the top 20 because Hemrick and Blaney and Logano had to pit at the end, and he got those positions off of luck, basically. Hemrick had to come in with a tire issue late. Austin Dillon finishes 21st. 22nd, Ryan Blaney. He was leading with like 50 to go. He had a really good car. He passed Harvick for the lead. He led some laps. And then he had a tire issue after the next restart, and he had to come in and pit with about 10 to go. And then Logano, 23rd, he had a loose wheel. He pitted with about 30 to go after he was passed by teammate Keselowski for the lead. 24th, Oh, man, I feel bad for Jimmy. Jimmy Johnson, he just had a terrible day. 2 laps down most of the day. Rough race. He's going to want to forget this one. 25th, Ty Dillon. 26th, D. Burrito. 27th, Bubba Wallace. 28th, Matt Tifft. 29th, Corey LaJoy. 30th, Parker Kligerman. 31st, Ross Chastain. 32nd, BJ McLeod. 33rd, Cody Ware. 34th, Starcom Racing's only, Landon Castle. 35th, after the incident that he had earlier, Ryan Preece. 36th, Garrett Smithley. 37th, Michael McDowell. He started 12th. I think he had I don't know what he had, but he had an issue and he was off most of the race. So, sucks for him. That's all I got. If I forgot to mention something, tell me in the comments. I'll discuss it with you. But Brad Keselowski fights off the flu and Martin Truex Jr. to win at Atlanta, lock themselves in the playoffs, get him 5 bonus points. Not a bad day. So he may be sick and feel like crap physically, but hey, he got to win. That's got to help it a little bit. So good job, Brad Keselowski, and congratulations to that team. Thanks for watching. Something's up here. I don't know. Just go ahead and watch it. It should be interesting. You should like the video. Oh, yeah, the Real Racing 3, we're 97% done. I need one more update. I'm trying to collect the gold coins. I have 1 day to do it. I'm at 97%. One more race to get that done. Oh, man. It's going to be so frustrating if I don't get that last race in. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.